Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Did you know that Kim Jong Gensler has a net worth of over $100 million and he's implementing policies to ensure that you stay poor? You know, the greatest financial opportunity in the history of mankind is here right now with the advent of crypto. It really is. And I literally mean that. That's literally true. And he's doing everything he can to take your freedom away, your financial freedom away, while, and this is why I'm disgusted. It's not about class war. I hate class warfare, to be honest with you. But he's got this net worth, and what's he actually doing as SEC chair? He seems to be working more so for himself and his net benefit rather than for yours. And I'll explain exactly why I'm saying that. There's some stuff shared by attorney John Deaton and his organization Crypto Law, and I want to run through that with you. I've also got this headline from Real Clear Markets, halting the SEC's regulatory attack on crypto. Now, this piece was written by Stuart Alderati, who is Ripple's general counsel, so he's their top in-house legal guy. And I just wanted to share with you some stuff that he's been saying. This is a newer article from just a few days or so ago. I've been wanting to cover this. But before going any further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say, all right? I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So here's a tweet from earlier today from John Deaton's Crypto Law organization, which reads as follows. Senate hearing today. Senator Toomey tears into Gary Gensler for the SEC's absent at yet another policy hearing on the very thing he's supposed to be doing, fighting scams, fraud, and high-risk schemes that explode on holders. Where was the SEC, he asks. Of course, we know where the SEC has been, exceeding its authority, making up rules on the fly, pressing huge non-fraud attacks on Ripple and Library, and smearing the retail holders they claim to be protecting. Is Gary Gensler working for you or working for himself? And you'll see, just about to get to the specifics of this, but here is also another tweet from just this morning from attorney John Deaton, and he wrote, 69,125 XRP holders have joined to fight versus the SEC's gross overreach. Name me one other time in history where individual holders representing users, developers, small businesses, nonprofits, vendors, and investors have come together to fight the agency designated their protector. And so that's an excellent tweet, so well worded, and it's worth reminding you what's happening now has never happened in the history of mankind. This is completely unprecedented. To have this type of uprising against the SEC, which is allegedly protecting us? And so then there was this tweet from attorney John Deaton. He said, stand by as crypto law will soon show you with proof where Gary Gensler's true loyalties lie. And so why is it that so many people would want to push back? Well, what is Gary Gensler and the SEC actually doing? Well, here's what John Deaton's Crypto Law organization reported. They wrote, just added to our document library, the Gensler files. Publicly available records detailing Gary Gensler's current wealth at over $100 million and key public calendar entries, while SEC Chairman Gensler's OGE financial disclosures for 2020 and 2021 reveal the vast majority of his wealth is invested in funds managed by Vanguard, including through two key entities, Annabelle Lee LLC and a marital trust. While Gary Gensler's public calendar doesn't appear to show any significant meetings with retail digital asset holders or crypto companies or blockchain association leaders, it does show at least 7 meetings with Vanguard Group as SEC chair. Wasn't that convenient? Why would he be meeting with them and not meeting with anybody in the world of crypto? That's kind of strange, right? Anyway, Crypto Law continues. Gary Gensler doesn't answer questions sent in letters from Rep. I'm going to butcher the name. Is Bill Huizinga? I'm sorry, man. I don't freaking know. Or Patrick McHenry or Senator Toomey. He doesn't appear before Financial Committee to answer questions. And he won't sit down with the crypto industry. His SEC enforcement attacks Retail Holders Council in court. but he has met at least 7 times with representatives of the company managing his enormous personal fortune. It's a fair question to ask. Is Gary Gensler working for you or for himself? And so again, this to me is not about class warfare or anything like that. I don't care. Good for him for having all that money. That in and of itself, I just don't care about. I hate class warfare so much. It's so stupid. I'm jealous. You have more. They must have got it unjustly. Just here's an eggplant emoji for it. Just go play with it. Okay, I'm not interested in those BS arguments. That's just not the case. Most people work hard to earn. Data shows, by the way, there's data to prove this. Most people that achieve massive wealth, yeah, a small percentage inherit it, but most actually earn it. That's just data. If you don't believe it, look it up. And I don't begrudge people for earning stuff because that means that they served the economy in a way that people, by and large, found to be beneficial. So they deserve it. It's an incentive. And then all those people benefited from that. So that's all well and good. But where I do have a problem is where he's sitting on this massive fortune managed by the entities including Vanguard I just cited here. He's got plenty of time to meet with them, make sure that he's got his ducks in a row, but he won't even sit down to talk with anybody in the world of crypto. He just wants to sue him into oblivion. So he's protecting certainly his wealth, which I wouldn't have a problem with if not for the fact that he's trying to ruin he's trying to ruin your opportunity to achieve massive wealth. He really is. So I think that history will end up showing that we're on the right side of history, and this won't go well for him, but we have to live through this in real time because it's dope. It's freaking offensive. And so Stuart Alderati, he penned this article the other day, and this thing's just pure gold. And it's again titled, Halting the SEC's Regulatory Attack on Crypto. Last week, a House Financial Services Subcommittee held an oversight hearing focused on the Securities and Exchange Commission's Enforcement Division. Despite the norm that ongoing enforcement cases are not discussed at these hearings, Subcommittee Chairman Representative Brad Sherman, Democrat, California, took it upon himself to put his thumb on the scale of the largest enforcement case in crypto, SEC versus Ripple. Rep. Sherman's off-base remarks underscore the urgent need for sensible crypto legislation from Washington. The case against Ripple, a US-based crypto solutions company, has emerged as the bellwether to get clarity on how to classify and regulate digital assets in the United States. A brief recap. In 2020, the SEC filed a misguided lawsuit against Ripple, its chairman and CEO, alleging that XRP was a security. Ripple uses XRP, a cryptocurrency that exists on an open, permissionless, decentralized blockchain ledger, in its product offering to facilitate faster, cheaper, and more transparent cross-border payments. During his opening and closing remarks at last week's hearing, Rep. Sherman asked why the SEC had not, in addition to suing Ripple, brought cases against the crypto exchanges that had traded XRP. Rep. Sherman stated, quote, "The fact remains that XRP clearly is a security." And that's a quote, by the way. Clearly is a security, he says. Here's the real fact. The filing of a lawsuit determines nothing. Rep. Sherman, a Harvard-trained lawyer, knows that. He knows that the SEC can't determine XRP to be a security. He knows that no country in the world has determined XRP to be a security. He knows the issue needs to be decided in the court. In short, he knows better. As a judge made clear last year, XRP is no more a security after the SEC filed the enforcement action than it was before it, because a determination resolves the question of whether XRP is a security. The enforcement action, by contrast, asks that question. The question is not yet resolved, so a determination has not yet been made. And when it is made, it will be made by the court. Rep. Sherman's comments also come fresh on the heels of the SEC recently being called out by another judge in the Ripple case for its hypocrisy and for, quote, adopting its litigation positions to further its desired goal and not out of faithful allegiance to the law, end quote. And I've highlighted that quote in numerous videos at this point because I love it so much. To see that the judge come down so hard on the SEC, it was a scathing rebuke of the SEC. And so nice to see Stuart Alderati here pointing that out. And then he continues. Rep. Sherman's behavior highlights the pernicious effect of regulation by enforcement rather than provide regulatory clarity through rulemaking. The SEC seeks to bully the market by filing or threatening to file enforcement cases. Unproven allegations masquerading as regulation is bad policy that hurts consumers and markets who are whipsawed by the whims of an unchecked regulator. As a result, American innovation and the jobs created are fleeing the US. But despite Rep. Sherman's comments, voices of reason do prevail. At the same hearing, Rep. Tom Emmer, Republican Minnesota, criticized the SEC for, quote, using enforcement to unconstitutionally expand its jurisdiction, end quote. This is all precisely why Congress needs to fix this mess and provide a comprehensive legislative framework for crypto. Two bipartisan proposals, the Digital Commodity Exchange Act and the Responsible Financial Innovation Act, that seek to define the line between securities and commodities in the digital asset space are a good start. The Wall Street Journal said it best last week when it urged Congress to, quote, exercise its oversight authority over the SEC by demanding that Mr. Gensler halt his high-speed regulatory attack, end quote. Rep. Sherman and his comments do the opposite with destructive effect. Golf clap for Mr. Alderati, everybody. Fantastic piece, is it not? I love seeing the word getting additionally spread. This is such good stuff. I'll go ahead and wrap up there, though. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.